Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. The NFL draft is just a few months away. What better time to break down my top 10 edge rushers for this year's class, and by far one of the most impressive groups in this NFL draft. Let's start out with some honorable mentions. First honorable mention, we have Logan Hall out of Houston. Logan Hall gets by on relentless pursuit and hustle rather than athleticism. This is a defensive end prospect that's average to above average in many areas. However, he's got great size, 6'6", 275 pounds. He's got great power, and he's got that ability, some versatility to dominate on the interior. That alone is probably good enough to get his name called on day 2 of the NFL draft. My next honorable mention is Zach Harrison out of Ohio State. Frame and athleticism are the first two things you need to know about Zach Harrison. 6'6" with legit athleticism and a long build. He reportedly ran a 4.47 40-yard dash, so he will surely be a media darling of the upcoming combine. However, this guy is not as quick off the snap. He has inconsistent play, 5 games of 1 or fewer pressures last season, and he's pretty raw when it comes to technique. This is one of the ultimate boomer bust picks in this entire draft class. My last honorable mention is Cameron Thomas out of San Diego State. Similar to Kingsley Enagbare, Cameron Thomas is an extremely interesting prospect that presents immense versatility. Playing inside as a defensive tackle in 2020, Cameron Thomas moved to the outside in 2021 and racked up an FBS leading 72 pressures last season. At 6'5" and 275 pounds, Cameron Thomas would thrive in a scheme that allows him to roam across the defensive line and focus on getting to the quarterback. With that said, let's get to my number 10. My number 10 edge rusher in this class is Arnold Ebiketie out of Penn State. Draft range, I've got a day 2 grade on this guy. Arnold Ebiketie is a premier pass rusher with tremendous speed off the edge. Ebiketie has everything you're looking for off the snap with excellent quickness, hand power, and an arsenal of moves that allows him to punish tackles. He doesn't have an elite first step, nor is he the most fluid athlete. However, Arnold Ebiketie will thrive in a defensive scheme focused on allowing him to get to the quarterback. He's a guy that would really benefit from having a defined role his rookie season as he builds up that strength, as he builds up that technique. He'll most likely be a situational pass rusher early in his career, which I don't want to sound as a negative. Arnold Ebiketie will have to continue his development, most notably strength, that ability to impact the run game, and show that he's a true 3-down edge rusher in the NFL. However, getting to the quarterback, this guy has a lot of skills that make him very intriguing. Let's look at the highlights.
So far. And it's blocked. The Nittany Lions turning away the Badgers. 3rd down and 11. McNamara taken down. The ball is out. And Ebiketie just off the left edge outside of Ryan Hayes. Petrus, and he's sacked.
My number 9 prospect in this class is Myjai Sanders out of Cincinnati. I've got a day 2 grade on this guy, and it's truly incredible how deep this edge rushing class is this season. Myjai Sanders is yet another elite pass rushing defensive end with a great first step. First up, his frame immediately stands out, standing at 6'5" and long arms. That frame really shines when he's disrupting passing lanes on tape, as evident by his 12 passes defended during his last 3 seasons at Cincinnati. Sanders needs to add bulk, especially in that lower body, but he makes up for it in explosiveness and great technique. Myjai Sanders also needs to work on being more consistent against the run. He tends to over pursue at times, and he would clearly benefit, just like Arnold Ebiketie, from a defined role early on his rookie season as he adds strength to that incredible frame. Because of this, I think Myjai Sanders may benefit more from playing in a 3-4 rather than a 4-3. Regardless, this guy is ridiculously talented and worthy of being selected anywhere from rounds 1 through 3. Let's look at some film.
Start making plays. Coach said we've been sleeping on. Taken down by Myjai Sanders. Good job of buying time and just simply being tough. 3rd down and 8. They come with a blitz again, and he's thrown down by Sanders.
Against Sauce Gardner. There it is. White looked that way. He's going to get swallowed, engulfed.
Number 8 in my edge rushing class, I've got Kingsley Enagbare out of South Carolina. Versatility, versatility, versatility. I see this guy in the draft range of rounds 1 and rounds 2. This is a prospect that doesn't have elite athleticism, but possesses the ability to play across the defensive line. At South Carolina, Enagbare played inside, outside, even dropped into coverage on a consistent basis. In addition to having the athleticism to backpedal and make plays in coverage, he can also get to the quarterback. Enagbare has several moves that allows him to beat his man at the point of attack and routinely get in the backfield. Off the snap, there are some concerns. He doesn't have elite quickness and will need to be coached up to build his technique to be effective at the NFL. While he's a solid athlete, he's not an elite one, and I have some concerns about his ability to cover tight ends at the next level. This is a very good prospect, but one that is most likely best suited for a 3-4 rather than a 4-3. After watching tape, he seems to be better at rushing the quarterback at this time. He needs to build up his football intelligence and hand power, but he certainly possesses all the traits of a first-round pick in this year's draft class. Let's watch the film.
Baylor's under pressure. And that's J.J. Enagbare.
Balls were 43% on third down last year. In trouble, Garantano slips out of one guy, but can't out of the next. Big sack for the Gamecocks.
And brought pressure right up the middle. No, just 4.
Garantano standing up, but now he's down. And the ball was jarred out for a second. J.J. Enagbare gets home.
Number 7 on my list of edge rushers is Drake Jackson out of USC. I've got a round 1-2 grade on this dude. You got to love his improvement from his sophomore to junior season. During that time, he went from a 66.6 pass rushing grade, according to PFF, as a sophomore to 87.7 during his junior season. This is a pure athlete that got by in college with his very good to great athleticism. In terms of getting to the quarterback, he's got a lot of qualities you're looking for in a starting NFL edge rusher. With some coaching, this is a prospect that has a very good chance of being a solid starter in the league for a long time. The downside to Drake Jackson is his versatility. This is one of the purest pass rushers in the class, and you shouldn't really expect more than that from the jump. Drake Jackson will require further seasoning at the next level, but the physical traits are all there. His position, such as whether or not he's best suited at linebacker, is a little bit also in question. However, Drake Jackson possesses very good potential following in a year spent in the weight room and building strength in the NFL. Let's look at some film.
With the first stop holding that middle firm. Now Lewis, pressure, swung around and sacked, and there's a good start for USC. Stanley's in the slot. Broussard swings out. That's where Lewis tries to go. It's intercepted. That's an interception, and Drake Jackson is dragged down.
Out of rhythm, they haven't touched the ball for 50 minutes. 3rd and 6, Cohen in trouble, and he is sacked. The one guy who brings the pressure from the edge on this team, Drake Jackson.
My number 6 edge rusher in this class is Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. I've got a round 1-2 grade on this guy, and this is a big time prospect to watch out for during the upcoming combine. He ran a 4.5 40-yard dash in high school, and his measurables will certainly make him one of the premier standouts. The first thing to know about Jermaine Johnson is his elite athleticism at 6'5" and 262 pounds. However, this is a prospect that doesn't just get by with his insane athleticism. Jermaine Johnson has a solid mix of moves at the point of attack that allows him to consistently get into the backfield. And while he did very well against Evan Neal, the great Evan Neal last season, there is evidence last year that he struggled against stronger tackles at times. He needs to continue working on his technique at the next level, but his combination of elite athleticism and production last year will certainly make him a selection in rounds 1 or 2 of the 22 NFL draft. Expect to hear this guy's name mentioned a ton during this year's draft combine. Let's watch some film.
Side towards the numbers on the bottom of your screen. First down, Cone, pressured, and Johnson gets him again.
Clean pocket. No, not that clean. Jermaine Johnson, the sack. How good is Georgia's defensive front that Jermaine Johnson could not crack their starting line?
5 sack that gets erased and gives North Carolina a first down. How? Hit from behind and brought down.
Work over the top, chip the back, get through, retrace.
My number 5 favorite edge rusher in this year's class is Travon Walker out of Georgia. I've got a round 1-2 grade on this guy. He is one of my favorite prospects in this year's class. This guy fits the Eagles scheme to a T with his elite versatility and ability to play inside or out. While he doesn't have that elite twitch that David Ojabo or Jermaine Johnson possess, he makes up for it for being strong against the run with very good quickness and ability to make big plays down the field. As good as he is at getting to the quarterback, he's got great quickness to win against slower offensive linemen in the interior. What I like most about Travon Walker is his ability to drop back and hold his own in space. Travon Walker occasionally dropped back into coverage for Georgia, and his fluid hips and ability to change speeds on a whim was really impressive to watch. A 6'5", 275-pound edge rusher that can be weaponized in multiple alignments with his kind of football intelligence will always have a roster spot in the NFL. Defensive coordinators must be salivating with this guy's ability to make an impact in a variety of ways. Let's watch the tape.
Well, they got him 3rd and 14. No protection again. Sack off the edge. Travon Walker.
More thanks, Halleck. They somehow spotted that as a first down. No idea how. McNamara escapes pressure, but not for long. He is hammered from behind by Travon Walker.
My number 4 edge rusher in this class is David Ojabo out of Michigan. I've got a round 1-2 grade on David Ojabo, and I've seen this guy anywhere from the top of the first round to the back of the second round. He's one of those, top boomer bust prospects in this class. While David Ojabo possesses elite measurables and physical traits, he's incredibly raw. This is one of the biggest climbers in this year's draft class, 6'5", 250 pounds with excellent length and explosiveness. This elite athleticism and upside makes him one of the more interesting names in the 2022 class. However, there are some concerns about David Ojabo that truly simply cannot be ignored. David Ojabo will require moderate amounts of coaching and seasoning at the next level to harness that immense potential. He needs to work on his technique off the line, and he struggled at times against good competition last year. Unlike the top 3 edge rushers in this class, which we'll get to in a bit, his inconsistent motor and lack of feel for stopping the run certainly make me question his ability to be a 3-down edge rusher in the NFL. However, that elite athleticism will surely entice some team to take him in the first round, roll that dice, and work on untopping that immense potential. Let's watch the tape.
In trouble, and he goes down, loose ball in the end zone. Hutchinson there, touchdown Wolverines. Ojabo. Before he retired, and Morris is sacked. David Ojabo before he retired, and Morris is sacked. That crossing route, good job by Clifford finding him. Look out, he gets sacked back at the 32-yard line. David Ojabo.
My number 3 edge rusher in the class is George Karlaftis out of Purdue. I've got a top 15 grade on this dude. George Karlaftis is one of the most athletic and physically impressive edge rushers in the class, standing at 6'4", 275 pounds. He's a plug-and-play defensive beast that can play anywhere on the line, pressure the quarterback, and stop the run. He's one of the most well-rounded edge rushers in this class. Similar to Aidan Hutchinson, he's quick to get into the backfield using his elite strength at the point of attack, but he doesn't have that elite twitch to drop back and hold up against the run. That's not saying he isn't good against the run, he's just limited in this area when comparing him to the top 2 edge rushers in this class. George Karlaftis is destined to be a fan favorite from the jump, given his tireless motor and effort. He doesn't have that elite length like the top 2 edge rushers in this class, but he makes up for it with technique and pure power. His lack of length certainly could lead Karlaftis being shifted inside at times at the next level, but regardless, and considering how many double teams and triple teams this guy received last year, you know that George Karlaftis is one of those prospects that will make an instant impact his rookie season. Let's watch the film.
Third and 8. He's the Greek freak for a reason. No one picked him up. Ball loose.
That was a flip forward. That was a pass.
Ship team. This is meanwhile not the offensive series that Illinois wanted on 3rd and 10 to open up this game here for the Illini, and out of his hands, Purdue picking it up. George Karlaftis with the pressure.
It'd be difficult for Northwestern's pass protection.
Oh my, and right on cue there is Karlaftis.
My number 2 edge rusher in this class is Aidan Hutchinson out of Michigan. I got a top 5 grade on this guy. Aidan Hutchinson had some incredible moments this year, most notably against Ohio State, where he was nothing short of remarkable. 15 pressures that game. He had 12 overall sacks and 6 sacks during those last 3 games. That is no joke. As great as he was last year, he beat up college tackles with his elite athleticism. Similar to Thibodeaux, the sky is the limit for Aidan Hutchinson, and he's only beginning to scratch the surface of how good he can truly be. The fact that we're sitting here and debating whether or not this guy should be number 1 or 2 over Kayvon Thibodeaux is just a massive compliment to his 2021 season. Aidan Hutchinson's motor is off the charts. This is a guy who would be best in a blitz-heavy scheme that lines him up across the line of scrimmage and cause havoc in the backfield. While Thibodeaux offers more feel for the game and support against the run, Hutchinson's burst and technique to punish tackles at the point of attack is incredible. This is a pure pass rushing weapon that should become an instant star the second he puts on an NFL jersey. Let's watch some film.
They scored was on their first drive of the game. Ellaby, knocked away by Hutchinson. And going back.
Did 1. Apparently they just got it off, and they got stuffed, and the ball came out. He was looking in the direction of Otten, and now he's looking at the turf.
3rd down and 8. Helinski in the pocket. Helinski, 97 gets him.
Miscommunication.
So Mike Yursich, the coordinator in the background. Here comes Hutchinson. He knocks the ball free.
Number 1 edge rusher in the 2022 class is Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon. I've got a top 5 grade on this dude. I'm not going to overreact here. Despite Aidan Hutchinson's recent play and rise, Kayvon Thibodeaux remains as my number 1 edge rusher in the 2022 class at this time. His production during the 2021 season was so strong. A 91.5 pass rushing grade and 46 pressures. His physical tools are off the charts. With a little coaching on technique, you can pencil in Kayvon Thibodeaux as a future star in the NFL. But for me, what puts Thibodeaux at the top is his versatility. At Oregon, Thibodeaux lined up at linebacker and even in the slot. Whether it's against the run or the pass, the first thing to know about Kayvon Thibodeaux is that he possesses incredible burst off the line. He's got an outstanding motor, an outstanding feel for the game to find the football. His elite lateral mobility and athleticism not only allows him to get into the backfield, but he can go sideline to sideline. Kayvon Thibodeaux, for me, is a terrific prospect and my number 1 edge rusher in this class.
Zane Pope in motion play action. Hit as he throws, and the ball goes backward. Picked up. Mace Funa for the Ducks inside the 5.
Ducks bring some pressure. Can't take a sack, and the ball is on the ground. He was a little too patient back there. Thibodeaux came around the edge. On 3rd and 10. Pressure. Drops. Thibodeaux.
Plays in the first half. 20.
And we'll never win. Rising, dropped in the back, and finally, Kayvon Thibodeaux does.
Do you guys like what you saw? Be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Message me, DM me on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot for anything NFL draft. Be on the lookout for my upcoming cornerback and safety rankings of this class. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay awesome, everybody.